Hey guys, welcome to Outskirts Overland. If it seems super dark for those of you watching, just like most of the Midwest, we're getting stormed on like crazy right now. But I was, I mean, even before getting stormed on like crazy, I was gonna talk about gear maintenance today. But just a quick thing, like I just dropped my daughter off at school. She's 9, but I made sure this morning that I changed some batteries and a flashlight and sent her to school with a flashlight in case the power goes out. You know, it's nice to just kind of have a few things ready. She's got two to do, so in case it usually with I don't do much into, but usually when the temperature getting warmer when it's raining, it typically isn't a good sign. So, and right now it's 70 degrees and raining and real warm feeling. And if you watch the flag, you can kind of watch it go from one way to flat, and that's usually not good either. So that doesn't mean it's going to be a tornado, but it definitely means it's going to be pretty wild wind. Something's blowing in with a significant force. Anyways, so I just changed the batteries in a flashlight, gave her a flashlight, went over it with her, make sure she's ready. I talk a lot of, I mean, I'll talk a lot about preparedness just because it's not typically the content I put out here, but just if you're in the Midwest somewhere, just always kind of have it in the back of your mind, like you know, having your waterproof stuff, making sure it's clean, so it is waterproof. Recently, re-waterproofing it with some type of silicone waterproofer or like a Nick Wax, which you can get on Amazon or any sporting goods store or outdoor store, using some Nick Wax, like tent wash on your waterproof stuff, and then waterproofer. Uh, as far as gear maintenance goes, like this last weekend while I was camping, and I tend to do some of this stuff while I camp. I like bring extra batteries and I have an extra power station to charge stuff, but just making sure my gear is maintained. I went through and I had a little bitty, like I could see a little bit of sun coming through one spot in my tent. I got my Gear Aid brand, tent patches, patch the outside, patch the inside, just stuff like that, little maintenance. I knew it was there. I could see it last time I went camping. Um, and I knew I needed to fix it, but I didn't get it. I didn't open up the tent during the week and fix it, so I did it. I also keep gear patches like that in case I get a snag or a rip. They're really good for puffy jackets. They make cool size shape ones, stars, unicorns, Sasquatches, planets, whatever. So you can. A lot of times people get rips in their like down jackets around the cuffs and stuff. They're really good for that. They stick really well. They're great. But also making sure you're getting your tent out, checking seams. You can get Gear Aid. Gear Aid just kind of makes everything for this. But you can get Gear Aid seam sealer and sealant and water. You can get tent wash. You can get the repair tape. You can get all kinds of stuff because this stuff is made and it's hopefully it's high quality, right? And you hope so, but it's not. It's only as high quality as the atmosphere you're putting it in. Obviously, like stuff deteriorates. So just making sure you're paying attention to maintaining your gear, washing it. You don't want mold or mildew. That stuff can actually be just as harmful as like CO2 getting in your tent. Everybody's always worried about CO2 in your tent, but if your tent's moldy, that's also going to affect your health. So just make sure your tent's aired out, it's cleaned. If you happen to start to get mold or mildew, like everybody remembers from a kid, like what a tent that's been packed up smells like, get it out. Oh, if it's a rooftop tent, open it up, put the rain fly on, close everything. They make the tent wash it, rinse it off, wipe it down like it's a vehicle, like clean it. And it'll help get that stuff out of it, and then apply some Nick Wax to it. Let it excuse me, let it set in, and your tent, let it dry out, and then put that bad boy back away. Another thing is it's starting to become the time of year where bugs are out, and I tend to use permethrin, and it's a bug and tick repellent that you can soak your clothes in it. You can spray it on your clothes. I don't you don't want it on your skin, but you can put it on your clothes, your shoes, your socks, and it's going to help keep the bugs away. I tend to treat some clothes with it. It will last through a couple of washes too. Permethrin will. Sawyer makes it. It's like in a yellow. It's in a yellow spray bottle or a yellow spray can. Both. You can also get that at most anywhere. Walmart. I mean, Walmart for sure, but like Dick's, Academy, Bass Pro, Amazon, everywhere. Permethrin. It's Sawyer. Permethrin. It's a bug repellent that you can put on clothing to help keep bugs away and stuff. Just it's not talking preparedness, but just maintaining your gear. Like we all buy this really expensive gear, checking seams if you need to re-sew some stuff, patch some stuff, tape some stuff up. If you're getting, lubing hinges, ladders get dirty, and then they don't want to work well. Tightening stuff on your rooftop tent. Like my rooftop tent has these little like bolts that go into the side track, making sure all that's tight. Heck, the other day I went to leave and my ARB compressor was loose. I had to go buy 3 new screws to screw my ARB back into the mount. Like just going through and checking stuff that could rattle loose, maintaining your gear, thinking about, hey, what do I got? What do I use a lot? And if you're using it a lot, it's hot. It's potential that some of it's loosened up, some of it needs some help. Recharging things, looking at what needs recharged, recharging your power stations, checking, if you've got dual batteries, there's all kinds of different smart chargers and stuff that could check the health of your batteries, making sure the health of your batteries is good. It's a good season to kind of, think about that stuff. Do you always want to be maintaining your gear? Yes, for sure. You always want to be maintaining your gear. Always. But I don't feel like it's talked about much maintaining your gear. Using silicone spray on your tent seals, using silicone spray on your door seals, making sure these things don't dry out. Um, don't dry out, don't crack, or have a little more pliability to them like they would have originally, so that they last you longer. Because gear failure, it usually doesn't occur at the house. It's usually going to occur when you're out, and that's when you realize it's failed. And then again, you learn from these mistakes, and that's great to learn from them. And I think that's invaluable training. Okay, but thinking ahead a little bit, we all buy gear, we all do this. We're buying the next new thing, but making sure the gear you bought is maintained. If it's waterproof, keeping it waterproof. It's not indefinitely waterproof. If it's, keeping the bug spray around. I use permethrin on my camp chairs and let that sit out and soak in so that it hopefully could keep stuff off my back. Things like this are worth their weight in gold, and they're not things you want to be doing after the fact, after you've been eaten by mosquitoes and ticks, after you're soaking wet, because then you're soaking wet and then you get in your tent soaking wet. Sorry if you guys can hear the rain. It's pretty significant. Um, so it's just, it's just worth going through and it's just worth going through and working your gear, maintaining your gear, making sure everything is up to top notch. Same thing goes with your vehicle. Going through, checking fluids, checking your diff fluid. If you're somebody that goes through the water a lot, Jesus, rain's nuts. If you're somebody that goes through the water a lot, making sure you're changing your diff fluids out, making sure you're checking the clamps on your diff breathers so water's not getting in. Because, like, listen to this. I mean, water crossings are about to be gnarly. Um, so just making sure you're maintaining your gear. I could probably specifically go into many things, but just kind of switch your mindset from packing, organization, think maintenance. Like, are your connections good on things? Like, just going through and checking. Hopefully, nothing's wrong and you don't have to worry about it. Like, hopefully, you're checking stuff that's fine. Fully charged, ready to go. Subscriptions are up to date. Like, Zolio requires a subscription. Um, Making sure you're familiar if you got the new iPhone with how to use the satellite communication. Like just familiarizing yourself, checking gear, making sure gear's good. If it's gear you haven't touched in a while, opening it up, making sure it's working, checking it out. Propane tanks. Go get your propane tanks not what am I thinking? Propane tanks after so long they have to be serviced. Taking your propane tanks in, making sure they're serviced, they're up to date, there's no leaks, everything's working well. Hoses, cracks in hoses, different stuff like that. Keeping your lighters full of fluid if they take fluid. If you've got an arc lighter, making sure it's charged. Like just making sure you're ready. Like just maintaining your gear. Just overall maintaining your gear. Making sure you got new, it's kind of like smoke detectors in a way. Like you don't need to wait until it's beeping on Xbox Live to fix it. Go ahead and change the batteries, on a schedule every year, every season, something like that. You're Is it wasteful? Potentially, but is it also going to be more safe for you? Yeah. So, like, I change batteries in like every couple of months. I just change batteries in my lights and stuff that I take camping because that failure is going to be make it just suck. Like I don't want to my life. I don't want it to suck. So, making sure you've got a little bit of and extra batteries too, for that matter. Sorry, I yawned there. And just making sure you're ready. Like just gear prep, gear maintenance, checking your tires, inspecting things, inspecting that if you've got cuts in your tires, you're paying attention to them, you know where they're at, rotating your tires, you know, getting your vehicle up on some jack stands, wiggling it, seeing how your wheel bearings are doing. If you got some wiggle in your tires, maybe got tire rod issue, maybe you got a wheel bearing issue, maybe you got a loose lug nut. Just checking your stuff, maintaining your stuff. It's not all go 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 go. It all just works great. You got to pay attention to it. You can ruin it. It cannot be effective for exactly what it's made for because you didn't maintain it. Like again, not everything's indefinitely going to be as good as it was the day you got it. So if you spend your hard-earned money on gear of any type and you're trying to, get your gear to work for you for an extended period of time and not just be rebuying gear all the time, you're gonna want to make sure that you're maintaining it, or you're gonna always be like, "Oh, this gear stinks." Well, it's also not made to be, perfectly effective forever. So just think about it. I will. I'll catch you guys tomorrow with a new topic. Sorry about the rain today, and man, this is crazy. If you're in the Midwest, get your canoe out because you're about to be floating everywhere. We're supposed to get 10 plus inches of rain like across the board. So have a good one, guys.